What's up, everybody? It's Train back on the mic once again for another part of Let's Play Persona 5 Royal. Last time, we started the new content, and holy shit, something is definitely wrong here. Mona's a human, Wakaba is somehow alive, and it seems that everyone else is just not paying attention to this reality, or at the very least, not really taking it in. It's an eerie feeling. And this whole vibe is just eerie. So, me, Joker, then Crow and Kasumi are tagging along with us. I'm to investigate this palace just to see what the hell is going on here.
We found a treasure chest. I wonder what's inside.
Ooh, Revive V, Soul Food, and Heal Charm. I'll be taking that. Huh. Interesting. Oh, Heal Charm. Diron. Okay. What was that hat, by the way? Shit, if I could find it. There it is. Ah, proof of Haru's love. That's nice. But we can worry about my girlfriend later. Right now, we gotta figure out what the hell's going on right now. This place feels different than it did last time. That was a few months ago, wasn't it? There could have been a change of heart since then. Do you remember how far you went in last time? I think it was just beyond that door. That's where Senpai came to help me. I see. So you're only familiar with the area close to the entrance.
Now, let us depart.
Let's keep going. Alright. What's going on here? Happiness for everyone, huh? Maybe it really can happen. Maybe I can get it. Maybe even I can get a better life. It's actually pretty solid. Golly, what is this? Seriously. What is this? See if I remember this area that we... Ah, jeez. There it is.
I have something.
There's so many people here. This is definitely different from the last time. Welcome, and thank you for coming, patients. You will be guided to one of our specialty care facilities, according to your individual desires. We will assist each and every one of you. Rest assured, everyone can become happy. Should you have any questions about the facilities, feel free to bring them to our staff members nearby. What a strange announcement. Become happy? What kind of place is this? I think that's the question everybody wants to know. So, let's go.
Those geysers. You aren't among those who desire salvation.
Take us to your ruler.
Leave. You are unwanted intruders.
Alright, we're gonna have to make you leave.
Do not disturb our Lord's research. This world's salvation.
Research. Another clue. I definitely know who this is now.
The language of a shadow is a hint into its ruler's ideology. This one sounds rather cultish, for example.
Even going in here completely blind, I have an idea who's behind all this.
But we're going to pass through there now. We don't have the time to waste on peons like yourself.
Why do you willingly strive for self-suffering? Why are you reaching out to your own pain?
Own pain?
Yoshizawa-san, you can do this, right?
Yes, ready whenever.
It'll be too much trouble to go about this haphazardly. I'll provide the support. Look at this scum pile up.
Yep.
fine by me. Time for a bloodbath.
I'm loving Psychotic Akechi already. Something tells me he hasn't fully recovered from that.
It's been quite a while. Nothing gets me quite as excited as this.
Akechi-san.
Now, time to obliterate them.
All right.
Persona!
Ooh, Leviathan.
Loki! Piece of shit.
Persona! Cendrillon!
Weak to bless, huh?
Good! One got knocked down.
Go for
Keep
it!
it going. Persona! Go down! Nice Joker! You hit it there, tweak! Do it! Let's show them my real power!
So Akechi's the Navigator now. This will be different.
I think we handled that rather well, didn't we? Especially considering the last-minute arrangement of our team and all. Yoshizawa-san?
Yes.
Okay, Kasumi's been acting kind of weird since we got in here.
So that shadow, it said something about research. And also something about pain.
It mentioned salvation as well. All this seems to indicate that the palace's ruler is not in his or her right mind. Oh? I seem to have found a map to this place. Let's make good use of it.
Ooh, thanks.
So I've only shared pleasantries with Akechi-san. Would you say this is how he normally is? Like a ruthless sort of person.
That's just everyday Akechi.
I see.
You get used to it.
What say we save the idle chatter for later and keep moving? Unless teaming up with a ruthless sort of person is too much for you to handle.
Looks like we're busted.
I'm loving Psychotic Akechi already, man. We just barely dabbled into this. Now then, what to do? Ugh. That was fruitless.
Somewhere.
To your happiness.
Aren't you going to get examined? I'm on my way right now. So exciting. Again. This eeriness. It's teeming with shadows as well.
Your true form. Pathetic trash. They didn't see us at all. This enemy is a sad little weakling. Let's put it out of its misery. These pipsqueaks can't tolerate blast attacks. You know what to do.
Persona!
Oh my god!
Good. One got knocked down.
This Akechi I'm loving right now.
Go for it!
Right. Next. Persona. Throw.
Let's try fire.
Ravage them. Joker took one down. I got it.
Right there!
Let's go. Slice and dice.
I'm loving Navigator Akechi.
Okay.
I'm glad we're doing so well.
Okay, that's just a nothing kind of a door.
Looks like there's a safe from around here. The cognitive effects are weakening.
So Crow's the Navigator. I'm liking it.
It's a safe room. Shall we take a rest?
Alright. I'm getting this strange feeling in my chest. I do hope it's just my nerves about this place.
Do you have a moment?
I realize resting is important every so often, but do we really have the time to relax? We don't, do we?
Let's get back to it.
Let's go.
I can feel it.
Again, it's just so eerie right now.
I'll reveal your true form. Let their guard down. Persona! Persona! Loki!
Whew, weak to curse.
Everyone did great!
I love this Keshi.
Okay.
Can you tell if I've grown stronger?
Alright, let's keep going.
Focus.
Have you seen the announcement on the bulletin board? It might be tough at first, but don't worry. There are lessons for beginners too. If you're interested, you should definitely get yourself examined. It'll change the entire world. The entire
There
world.
seems to be a treasure chest.
Okay, was acting a little weird. Again. It's so eerie.
What?
That voice. Look, No way.
That's her dad. That's her dad. What is going on?
Everyone will be arriving soon. Mom, Grandma. Yes, she'll be here too.
So this must be her sister, I'm assuming.
I'm sure she'll be here once she's able to calm down. Why? Why?
Dad? Why?
What is happening?
That was your father in the video just now, wasn't it, Yoshizawa-san?
Yeah.
And the one he was speaking to.
Sumire, my
Hmm?
younger sister. Sumire Yoshizawa.
Oh.
I mentioned to you that I've lost a family member, right?
Mm-hmm. She must have been the girl that died in that subway accident back in April. Yeah, I remember.
But how was this video?
Something is definitely wrong here.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's been wrong with me lately. I've been getting this feeling like I need to remember something, but at the same time, I oughtn't remember it.
Indeed, Akechi.
Can you still walk, Yoshizawa-san? Whatever it is that's happening, we have to keep going if we hope to learn more about it.
That is true.
Yes, I'm all right. Let's go.
Hey,
Sup, Crow?
when was it that you said you became acquainted with Yoshizawa-san?
After transferring here.
I see. Anyway, let's move out. I suspect we still have a long way to go.
Alright. Something is definitely wrong here. Golly. Huh? Test track?
Focus.
What could this mean?
This place is enormous. What could this room be?
Who knows? Again? Seriously, what is going on here?
You seem to be in pain again. Are you alright?
I'm fine.
Don't look like it.
It's just that I can't stop thinking about that video we saw earlier.
You mean the one about Sumire-san?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Let's keep pushing. I need to find out why that was shown to me.
I have something.
Like I said, I think I have a general idea as to who this palace ruler is, but...
You are misguided.
Hmm?
Do not search for pain. Only tragedy awaits you beyond here.
A newcomer.
All these warnings of pain and tragedy. Who is your ruler? Why do you all think you know so much about me? If you won't give me an answer, then I'll just force my way through.
Stop rushing into things.
Something's really off here with Kasumi.
Just calm down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is it. Time your attacks with mine.
Right.
Next up. That's what I like to see, Joker. Go ahead. All right, next. Brute force won't do anything here. They're resistant to physical attacks. Feel my power. Manifest!
Dance, Persona!
Brute force won't do anything here. They're resistant to physical attacks.
Victory is ours!
I will break them. Persona!
Asuna!
This always sound fell down. Come on, we gotta be more careful than this. Persona! Sandalphon! Alright.
Time to
This
strike
is Alice
back!
on his back up. Now she can get back at him. Persona! That should do it. You thought that would hit me? Persona! I can't live with this thing. Throw! Go down!
Such a fool, rejecting our Lord's mercy. In that case, witness it for yourself.
Now what?
Oh wow, the crowd is going wild.
What is happening?
Their cheers are shaking the stadium to welcome a new heroine to the world of competitive gymnastics. Thank you so much. I'm simply thrilled with the result I had today. Your performance exceeded anything seen before in the junior class. It was absolutely stunning. But you'll be entering high school soon. Will that impact your career in gymnastics? Oh, I have no intentions of stopping. It's my dream to compete and win at the international level. How wonderful. One last question. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out while you have the chance? My younger sister. She should be here in the stadium.
What?
Oh, there she is. Sumire. Sumire, I did it!
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Both of us have the same dream, to be international champions.
Is
Stop.
Kasumi really Is she really Sumire?
Stop it!
She's actually Sumire, isn't she?
Yoshizawa-san? You're...
I really hope this helped you understand.
That voice is familiar too.
a man's voice.
A very familiar man's voice.
If you keep pushing on like this, you're going to find nothing but heartache. Please, won't you stop fighting this and just return to the current reality?
Nothing but heartache, huh? I don't understand what you're saying, but I have no intention of leaving now.
We are in agreement there. We also refuse to do as you say.
He's right about that.
Now why don't you drop the big voice behind the curtain act and face us directly?
As you wish.
That's...
Head on down. I'll meet you there.
He agreed to that much more readily than I expected. Perhaps the palace's ruler really will make his appearance.
You okay, Kasumi?
Thanks for your concern. But I'm fine, really. Let's go.
Kasumi Yoshizawa, eh?
That's pretty much my reaction to Kechi. That is pretty much my reaction as well. Alright, let's go.
I have something.
Show me your true form.
Pathetic trash. You didn't see us at all.
Let's dance!
Good! One got knocked down.
Please!
Alright, next!
Come, go down.
Joker took one down.
Yours. And another pass. Feel my power.
This is psychotic Akechi I am loving with a passion.
We didn't even break a sweat.
But seriously,
Alright. They were too weak to be a threat.
if my deductions are correct... Let's head on down. Yep, there he is.
Is he this palace's...
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
Dr. Maruki. If it isn't Dr. Maruki. But, hold on.
Glad to see you're all doing well.
Hold on a minute. I got some questions.
I pretty much figured that you would end up infiltrating this place. Truth be told, this isn't how I was hoping we would meet again.
Dr. Maruki, you're the ruler of this palace?
Palace?
A place where distorted desires manifest. We're asking if you're the source of the desires here.
Ah, I see. Well, to use your own words, yes, I am this palace's ruler.
I was right! I was right in my thoughts that this was Maruki's palace. I had a feeling it was. I just didn't want to say it out loud because of fear of spoiling things, but... Then hold on. If that's the case, then... Is this the Shadow? Because someone cannot have a palace and a persona. Mona taught us that. You can't have a palace and a persona in the same breath, so... Why isn't this Maruki's Shadow? What is going on here?
But in my case, it seems a tad different from the ones you've seen.
Is that so?
Would we also be correct in believing that you're involved in the abnormalities outside the palace as well?
Yes, you would.
You altered reality. I was right in my suspicions from the beginning. So, hold on. You made Haru's dad alive. You made Waka come to life again. You brought Ryuji to good terms on a track team. Ans with Shiho. Those counseling sessions were nothing more than fuel to your research, and once you altered their reality, or reality in general, you made their wish come true. You son of a bitch! No wonder this felt so wrong from the beginning.
Do you like the reality I created for you?
You created it?
That's right. I've gained the power to alter reality, to make it whatever the people wish for.
That's why you wanted us in your counseling sessions. That's why you were into cognitive science to begin with. Ah, God. Change it back. Now.
Is that how you really feel? The old reality was cruel and unfair. The truth is, Yoshizawa-san suffers immense pain each and every time she taps into her forgotten past.
My past? Dr. Maruki? What do you mean? What's happened to me?
All right. I had honestly hoped that all those warnings you were given would change your minds. But if it's your true desire, then I want you to recall who you really are. And I want you two to learn as well. Once you have, you'll need to choose between the two realities. The merciless one, or the one I've formed.
Seriously, why isn't that Maruki's shadow? That's one of the bigger questions I have right now.
That's...
Alright.
Today was brutal, huh? Feeling okay? It's not that. Why am I doing so bad? I keep messing up my routine. Your growth spurts just changed your eye level. You'll get used to it. Look, you're as tall as I am now. We practice the same amount. But you are the one who always gets first place. I can't catch up to you, Kasumi. You know why? Because it's my right as the elder sister.
This is some
We're in the same grade, though.
POV.
Oh, don't be so down. We'll reach the top of the world together. That's our dream, right? You don't get it. Huh? You'll never understand how I feel. What? Kasumi, if I were like you, things would be so much better. Hey, wait up! Kasumi's the one that people want. Look where you're going! The light's red! Hey! The talented one who can reach the top of the world. Sumire, stop! Listen to me! Sumire!
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god. Kasumi. She sacrificed her life to save her sister from being run over by a car. Well, there's more? She's Sumire. Wow.
Seems you remembered.
That's right. I'm...
That's not Kasumi.
Kasumi?
She's Sumire.
No, that's not right. I'm not Kasumi.
The girl named Kasumi Yoshizawa is currently deceased.
Damn. Yeah. Wow. Kasumi Yoshizawa sacrificed her life to save her sister from being run over by a car. Or truck, whatever it was, back in April. Damn. Damn.
It was last spring, before I started at Shujin. We were walking home from practice. It happened right there, on that street in the video. I wasn't looking where I was going. And
Whoops.
I wasn't looking where I was going. And Kasumi, she protected me from the car.
Yeah.
I was saved by Kasumi. I robbed her of her dreams, and even her life. I'm her younger sister, Sumire Yoshizawa.
Wow. But that raises another question. So Sumire sounds like she's been living with survivor's guilt, which is, yeah, painful. But at the same time, how was the general public be able to recognize her as Kasumi this entire time? We've referred to her as Kasumi, and by we I mean the Phantom Thieves and Akechi. We've known her as Kasumi, as well as like Sojiro, I assume. But how was the rest of the public be able to think she was Kasumi? As of us, how were we able to think she was Kasumi, even if she was really Sumire this whole time?
I'll take over from here. After all, I do play a part in this story. Her real name is Sumire Yoshizawa. She's Kasumi-san's younger sister, but for months now, she's only seen herself as being Kasumi Yoshizawa, her deceased elder sister.
Yeah, but how?
Of course, it was only her cognition of herself that changed, so to the people around her, she was still Sumire-san.
Huh.
For some reason, though, there were a few rare exceptions to this. Did something happen to make you believe she was Kasumi-san?
Huh. Something made me think she was Kasumi. Oh! The cleanup! The cleanup event where she dropped her pen book. The cleanup event, right? It seems to be a Shujin Academy pocketbook. The name Kasumi Yoshizawa is written inside. Yeah, it was at the Inokashihara cleanup event.
It appears you were clueless, but she was Sumire Yoshizawa from the start.
This isn't funny at all, but yeah, Crow's right.
However, when we watched that other video, she gave her name as Kasumi Yoshizawa.
Yeah.
Considering such an odd claim, I'd actually suspected for a moment that she was the palace ruler.
Huh. I can see why one would deduct that.
After Kasumi died, but before I started at Shujin, I received counseling from Dr. Maruki. That was when I told him, if Kasumi is gone and can't make her dream come true, then I want to become Kasumi, so I can turn her dream into reality for her.
So that's why you meddled with her cognition? For her own wishes?
That's what it sounds like.
That's right. Limited as it was, I already had the power at the time to actualize her wish. Put yourselves in her shoes for a moment. Sumire-san's older sister died from protecting her. Imagine surviving such a dismal tragedy.
And living with all that survivor's guilt. Huh, yeah.
Who would be able to cope with that survivor's guilt, let alone heal from the emotional scarring that she's suffered?
That is true. That is understandably true, and I can understand why you will want to change your cognition in a sense to not make her not have to go through with that survivor's guilt. I can understand where Maruki's coming from, and Maruki doesn't sound like a Shido or a Madarame or someone who's just granting their own selfish desires. He wants to make reality peaceful and have everyone have their wish, which I get, but that reminds me, what was Joker's wish? Was Joker's wish having Akechi back? That may be true now that I think about it.
If Sumire-san can live a healthy, positive life by becoming Kasumi-san, then I believe that reality is what would make her happy.
I've had enough of your high and mighty rationalization. All you really did was use her to try and make everyone acknowledge the validity of your research.
So that's how you see things, huh? That's quite unfortunate. Of course I wanted society to acknowledge cognitive science through my research. But that's because my goal is to save everyone in the world like Yoshizawa-san by ending all suffering. My work will convert the wishes of the people into reality. Even as we speak, my research is coming to fruition. No one will ever have to suffer again under the yoke of an unfair world. This palace, you called it? It's a place where its ruler's desires take physical form, yes?
Yeah?
I wish to utilize my research to save humanity. I suppose that would be the desire I hold dearest.
What total nonsense.
You could very well be right. Still, I'm entirely serious about changing our imperfect reality. Just as she was saved by becoming Kasumi, I'll save every other person in the world currently suffering.
An understandable ideal, but this still feels wrong in some way. I can understand why you want to end all suffering and make sure everyone lives a happy life, but this feels wrong somehow.
In fact, it's my responsibility to do so. You can see how this world's bestowed the duty upon me.
Is that truly salvation, though?
The cruelties of history will vanish, and everyone will live their lives just as they've always dreamed them to be. If you don't call that salvation, then what would it be?
You assume we'll buy into your brainwashing and just live in the palm of your hand. Honestly, that sounds absolutely revolting.
Alright, so that's your answer, Akechi-kun. How about the others? Yoshizawa-san, allow me to ask you yet again, which reality is it that you wish to inhabit?
Huh?
If you so desire, you can return to your life as Sumire. But if you'd rather continue your life as Kasumi, I can grant that wish for you as well.
Dr. Maruki...
Yeah. I would say don't be believed. Even though I can understand Maruki's goal, it's still wrong because people need to be able to cope with stuff like survivor's guilt, no matter how hard that may be. Sorry if that sounds rather off-putting or inhumane, for lack of a better word, but you can't just run away from your problems. At some point, if you really want to move on with your life, you have to take things head on. You can't just run away because it's going to come up again. At some point, your past will come up at one point or another, and at that moment, you can't just run away from everything. At some point, you need to stand up on your own 2 feet.
It's impossible. I'm sorry, Senpai. I can't go back to being her. I can't be the one who led her sister to her death.
I do understand
Please
that
don't judge
pain,
her.
though. It's hard to blame her for not wanting to face that survivor's guilt, but
This is just evidence of how painful life is for her.
sometimes you need to do the hard things and go head on at them.
You two sensed doubts forming in the reality I manifested. That's what brought you here.
Talking about me and Akechi? Yeah.
But please, remember this as well. You two aren't excluded from the people that I wish to save. Come now. Won't you accept my reality for your own happiness?
I'll find my own.
No deal so far, huh?
I'll find my own. What the hell?
What do you think you're doing with her?
I won't harm her. It's in her best interest that you turn back. You've made clear that you reject the reality she desires. The reality where she lives as Kasumi Yoshizawa.
This is wrong.
It saddens me when you speak that way. Don't you understand? You deny her wishes when you say such things.
Her wishes, huh?
This isn't just for her. I'm doing all of this for yourselves as well. I honestly do want to come to terms with you. We should talk. Think about it. You both have dreams, no? I have the power to make them come true. My reality can become just the way you like.
Total waste of my time.
A shame, but I understand.
Well then, we just have to resort to force now, don't we?
Violence is not my thing.
That's the Akechi way. What the hell? What the hell?
I agree, though. It seems we're out of options here.
Alright.
Time to fight. Are you ready?
Aw, yeah.
Keep up, and don't embarrass me.
That's my line, Crow. Let's do this.
Rejecting our roar.
Disgusting. We're not here to listen to your bullshit. Come on. Shit. Persona. That should do.
Alright.
Persona. Sandoval. Use up that would hit me. No good. Persona! Through! You're mine.
There we go.
It's useless, idiot. Feel my power. Manifest!
Manifest! Huh.
Come! Go down! It's useless, idiot. Here. Persona! Throw! Ravage them! I'll break them. Using it. No time for thanks. Use this. Persona! Sandalphon! There. Persona! 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 Throw! You're mine.
No, such pathetic attempts won't be enough.
This just won't go down.
Oh shit.
We're about to lose a lot of...
Accept his mercy. Give yourselves over to him.
Would you just quit running your mouth already? I'm going to shut that thing up. Give me a hand.
Is this what I think it is?
Move!
Showtime! Let's go!
No more games.
Yes! Joker finally got a Showtime move.
Not bad for an improvised technique.
No, not at all. That's the best Showtime move I've seen. Yes! Alright.
Shall we continue this? I'm fairly certain any further negotiating is pointless.
Although, for being honest with ourselves, Joker and Crow having a Showtime move was kind of obvious. And it's obvious he'll get one with Kasumi too. Samiri. God, I'm gonna have to get used to that.
That seems to be the case, unfortunately. But first, I have an idea. Rather than explain it with words, I'd like you to actually see this new reality with your own eyes. I know that your friends are already enjoying it.
Well, first off, hand the girl over, now.
That I cannot do. As I said before, she wishes to live in the reality where she is Kasumi. There's no way I can hand her over to you with matters as they currently are. I already told you that I won't harm her, and I'll swear by it. Don't worry about her. Go. Look at the reality I've created for you all. Once you've seen the results, I know you'll realize which future is best.
You think we'll just obey your orders?
I apologize, but you really are going through with this, even if it's by force.
We'll meet again 1 week from today, January 9th. I genuinely pray that you'll change your mind by then.
He got away. We shouldn't chase him too far.
Let's pull back.
Let's say we head back for now.
That's the only thing we can do.
I had spent all that time investigating the people around you so I could set you up. To think Takuto Maruki of all people would be the mastermind behind this absurd situation.
And he happens to be warping the very fabric of reality while ranting about making everyone's dreams come true. Talk about incomprehensible motives. I can't even wrap my head around such intentions. At any rate, we need to figure out our next steps.
Yeah, I'm worried about Sumeri, though.
I think it'd be suicide to march back in there at the moment.
That is true. That would be suicide.
We need intel first. If we're going to stand up to him, we have to know more than nothing.
Crow does bring up a very good point.
I'll do some investigating on my own.
Alright.
I hate that we have to do what he says, but Maruki told us we have to wait until January 9th. Let's meet up here next week. Although I imagine both our lives will be very different if you choose to live in this reality as your friends have been.
Yeah. So this is the reality that Takuto Maruki created. There's no point in obsessing over it now. I should head back to my room. Even if this feels so wrong. Welcome home. You sure we're out late? It's me. I discovered something that I thought I should tell you right away. I called Yoshizawa-san's house to see what I'd learned. They believe she's been at training camp since yesterday. To think, Maruki is really changing our physical reality as he sees fit. It's unbelievable. In all honesty, I agree. Unfortunately, it's the truth of the matter. Even the great phantom thieves you're so proud of fell in line with this scheme. You're going to see if you can change their minds, aren't you? Well, fine. I suppose we can use more manpower. If you can actually bring them to their senses, that is. That's wholly dependent on whether or not they're capable of leaving the reality they supposedly wished for. I'll focus on investigating Maruki further. You do what you need to. Got it, thanks. Remember what we agreed upon before? We made a deal here. Well, I'll reach out to you should anything come up. Good night. Was that a catchy? You seem to be really getting along well lately. I wouldn't really say we're friends, but we're acquaintances. We're allies. Right now we're allies. But so I was thinking, why don't us fandom thieves all go on a hot springs trip sometime together? Then Lady Ann and I could. Mona, shut up. Shut up, Mona. How's that sound? Perfect, right? We should ask the rest of the gang soon. Rather than explain it with words, I like you to actually see this new reality with your own eyes. I know that your friends are already enjoying it, Blazer-kun. Seems that this is the reality that Morgana wished for. Alright, we ought to hit the hay for today. The bed may be a tad too cozy for the both of us. Oh well, let's just start sleeping on the sofa instead. You really happy? Huh? Where's this coming from? Well, yeah, I'd say that I'm happy. Do you like this reality? Like reality? Well, it is the one we fought for with everyone else, so... Wait, what did I mean by... That doesn't seem right. I got captured in Kamoshida's palace, and that's when I met you guys. When we go into Mementos, I transform into a... Keep it going. Huh? Okay. I got to be useful for the humans that I admired so much. Nothing can make me happier. What was... Sorry. I'm gonna go out and do some thinking for a bit. You should get some sleep. Seems all I can do now is wait. Yeah. This is eerie. Maruki said that your friends are already enjoying it. I should go see them. Yeah. Where is everyone? I should look for them while I check out the town. Alright, so next time in Persona 5 Royal, we'll be checking up on our teammates. Just to see what the hell's going on here. So, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.
Let's do it.